Do you feel like your organizational culture is just going off the road right now? That people used to treat each other with kindness and respect, and now people spend more time talking about each other and gossiping than actually working with each other? Well, in this video, I want to share why this may be happening now and what you can do to start to shift that. Hi, I'm Chris Littlefield. I've spent over 15 years helping leaders at top companies build and maintain cultures where their people feel valued every day. So I want you to imagine for a second that all of your organization, your department, your team, and even your individual goals are somewhere out there in the future. And there's a road that's leading towards accomplishing them. Now, the pace in which we're traveling along that road and we are hitting milestones and we're accomplishing things is dependent on the vehicle in which we're traveling in. Now, for our organizations, that vehicle is our organizational culture. And the strength of our culture is how we're able to navigate around potholes and go down bumpy spots and cross ravines and go uphill and downhill and all the rest. Now, what people often don't realize is that culture is not something that we create when we open up our company and say, these are our guiding principles and these are our values and all the rest. And we put them up on the wall in a picture and then we never talk about them again and they expect to maintain themselves. Culture is actually a conversation that gets generated by the things that we talk about and the actions we take each day. And if you think about it, when we keep on having those conversations, that vehicle is stronger, the wheels are stronger, there's alignment there, and we move down that road with pace and with ease. But when we stop intentionally building and maintaining that culture, it's like when we don't take care of our vehicle, when we don't have an oil change, when we don't bring it in to get serviced, when we hear a little rattling, when we hear a hissing in our tires and we don't go to check to see if there's a nail. It's like when we ignore the gossip, the drama, the pettiness, the people working in silos. And what happens is that vehicle eventually veers off the road and breaks down, or even worse, crashes. And when people start to notice the signs that things starting to break down, that's when they start looking out the window over at that other culture over there, at that vehicle that looks like it's maintained, like it's taken care of, where people are succeeding, where they're accomplishing things, and the organization is winning. And that's when they start saying, you know what, I'm getting out of this before it crashes. I'm going over there where I'm going to be respected, where I'm going to be appreciated, where I'm going to be valued. Now, the challenge for many organizations these last couple of years means that we were on a bumpy road filled with potholes, crevasses, and rivers that we never had to face in the past. And through that time, we were just surviving. And now that we're on the other side of it, there's uncertainty is still out in front of us. But many organizations haven't taken time to pull off to the side of the road in this new world that we're living in and say, who are we now? What do we care about? What are the actions and behaviors that we need to do as senior leaders, as managers, as individual contributors to be able to build and maintain the kind of culture that we need to be able to navigate the road ahead right now? And so for you as an organization, if you haven't pulled over, right, in a really long time and had a retreat with your team, even just to stop and ask the questions, what have we had to navigate over the last couple of years? How were we able to do that? And who do we need to be to move forward? That is a place to start. And if you want to take the conversation a little bit further, go to beyondthankyou.com/book. And if you scroll down below the book, you'll find a simple team relationship building assessment for checking on psychological safety. You can hand this out to all the members of your team or your department or division. Have them fill it out and use that as a conversation starter to look at where are we at and where do we need to go. And if you want additional support in doing a culture recalibration process, just reach out to me at beyondthankyou.com. And just take one step today to look at where you're at and to think about where do we want to go. Because if we don't recalibrate our culture, if we're not intentional about building it, well, that's when we go off the road. I'm Chris Littlefield from Beyond Thank You. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did and you're watching on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe and share at least one other person who you know it'll make a difference for. Together, let's build cultures where people feel valued every day. Take care.